These things you have proposed are new to us. They are things we have not had any opportunity to consider, because they come to us but thus, as you see here today. There are very great alterations in the government of the kingdom, since it has been, I almost say, since it was a kingdom. The expressions in it are very plausible. If we could jump straight from one condition into another without difficulty, there would be not much dispute. But who is to say, while we are disputing, another group of men will propose yet another paper, and another, and another. It would be utter confusion. True. If we were to accomplish these things proposed, how would we go about it? Give me leave to say there will be very great mountains in the way of these things. It is not good enough to propose something that will be good in the end, but to consider whether this model, even if it is excellent in itself, is right and fit for England. We were brought together as an army by Parliament with a particular engagement and aim: to defeat the king. That is my responsibility. That lies upon me, upon all of us. He who transgresses from this engagement is missing the point.
Truly, I think Parliament were very indiscreet to contest with the king at all, if they did not consider that they would have to go through difficulties. As I see it, if difficulty be around you, death before you, the sea on each side of you and behind you, if you are convinced the thing is just, you are bound to carry it on. I hear it said it's a huge alteration, a bringing in of new laws, and that this kingdom has been under such and such a government ever since it was a kingdom. But if the ancient and even recent histories be true, then the good men of England have had many a scufflings under the people, their royal privileges. There is not a single one of the just and equitable laws that the people of England are born to now that was not extracted under duress from the privileges of their rulers. But if you have not had time to consider, then let me say this, that 2 or 3 days may be set aside so that all men can consider the justness of this agreement of the people, and then we can meet again.
If we are to debate the safety of the kingdom, please let us not spend such time on debates as these, but apply ourselves instead to things we can all agree on.
I think this matter of the franchise may easily be agreed upon. I mean, you can stay up all night if you think thereby it can affect a solution, but I think 3 or 4 may be thought of in this company to form a committee.
The question is whether this matter is like to end the engagement in the army in dealing with the most urgent matters for which we have fought this many long months. Will the army carry on? Or do the soldiers consider that without this agreement, their engagement to fight for Parliament is no longer binding?
It is for the whole army to consider whether that is the case.
I think the army's engagements have been better kept by those that are not here today than by those who have brought forward this paper. And if you will, in plain language, I do not think that the authors of this paper and its subscribers are one and the same.
There is no division between those of us who wrote this paper and the soldiers who subscribed to it. It was the soldiers who did put upon us, their agitators, to write this paper and to seek out these meetings, provoked by their deep anger and dissatisfaction. They have engaged in this kingdom and ventured their lives, and all for this. To recover their privileges and birthrights as Englishmen. There are many thousands of us soldiers that have fought for this country. But now, it seems, if a man does not have a fixed estate, he has no rights. I wonder, were we so much deceived? We have been the means of preservation of this kingdom, and now we demand the birthright for which we fought. I do not speak for myself alone, but for the regiment which sends me.
I move that the whole army may be called, so that all soldiers can participate in settling this matter.
Truly, I believe there is something of God in almost everything that has been said here today. Let us agree to this. The formation of a committee to discuss these papers. Then let's return to the regiment, and yes, we will have a rendezvous of the whole army to discuss these issues.
These generals are plotting against him. They're going to stop you. They have a plan. Am I right? What happened next?
Yes, you are right. Cromwell and Fairfax brought the army together, but not to consider demands. The most radical regiments were called in, and Fairfax read them the Riot Act, informed them the king had escaped yet again, and was preparing to launch a new war. It was time to end debate and adhere to military discipline. Many soldiers had a copy of the agreement of the people in their hats, but Cromwell rode up and down the ranks, snatching them and trampling them under his horse's feet. It just wasn't their time. It was the time for the victory of a different class, and capitalism stage left. Then again, when is it ever their time? When is it ever our time?
And by the way, I have the vote now.